it's me again. I'm Jose from the Finch Branch and Maker Lab of the SDG Library. And for Science Literacy Week, I've been doing some math videos, and here's my latest one. This time, we're going to combine art and math to give us fractal art instead of just tessellations. So you might have heard the word fractal, but I'm going to show you what it is. Ta-da! So fractals, much like tessellations, are patterns, but these patterns keep repeating themselves in a way that if you were to zoom in on a picture, you would just see the same thing over and over again. That's kind of how you make trees, right? So a branch goes out and goes out one and two ways. And then from that branch, another branch goes out one and two ways, and one and two ways, and over and over and over again. That's why we call them fractals. They're kind of fractured or broken down little pieces into the smaller versions of themselves. So let me show you how to make fractal art. It's actually pretty simple. We're going to use triangles. So for this, we're going to need a piece of paper. You've already seen a sneak peek of what I'm going to do. If you need your piece of paper, you're going to need a pencil with an eraser, hopefully, a ruler, and if you want to cut out your image afterwards, you can cut that out. That's optional. Same thing with colored markers and a pen. So to start off with, we're going to just draw a line here. And again, if I'm going too fast, go ahead and pause the video to catch up, and then resume when you're ready. We're going to go ahead and measure out from 0 to 16 one long line. Just put it on a piece of paper like that. But before you lift it up, go ahead and mark the halfway mark. And then on the halfway, just do one really long line up there. And we're going to go from 0 on this one really long line all the way down to 14. You'll do the same thing on the other side, and that's going to give you your one big triangle. Once you have that, you already have your halfway point here, but we're going to want to find the halfway point of 14 centimeters. The halfway point of 14, of course, is 7. So I've gone ahead and I've marked where 7 would be on both sides of my triangle. And then I simply drew another triangle inside that triangle, like this. And since these 3 triangles are also triangles, I found out the middle point here and on these 2 other sides to make an even smaller triangle. And that's how fractals work. They can be used in a multitude of ways, but it's a lot of fun to create art with them to see how far you can go. So here's my example. I'll bring it up closer. Oop. Let's see if I can get that focused. Perfect. So I have my big triangles, my smaller triangles, and even smaller triangles, and my yellow one's going smaller, and then my aqua one's going even tinier, and then my pink one's going even smaller and smaller. But it makes quite a pretty piece of art, I find. And, well, that's my little lesson for today. Learn about fractals by making them. How far, tiny, can you go? Go ahead and see what you can do. And you can always still play with which shape you're using. I use a triangle because I like triangles. But you could use a square, trying to put squares into squares into squares until they're teeny, teeny, tiny squares. And I'd love to see it if you go ahead and do it, especially if you're going to color them. So go ahead and share with me what you've done and see what you've learned. Doing math can be pretty and pretty fun. See you next time. Bye.